Fluorocarbon fishing lines. You know, we get a lot of questions about that recently, about why use fluorocarbon versus mono and maybe a braid. I'm going to go over a few characteristics of fluorocarbon fishing line and why I like that elite fluorocarbon from Vicious. First and foremost, the low visibility aspect. A lot of anglers know fluorocarbon is very clear. You don't see it as well inside water in various conditions. So it's a low visible line. So if you're looking for a situation where you're in clear water, fluorocarbon really excels in terms of the fish seeing what you're offering. Abrasion resistance. It's a lot tougher fishing line than the monofilaments. You got a more abrasive fishing line. The molecules are a little tighter so that you're going to have a little more abrasion versus wood, rock. If you're pitching around heavy cover, it's going to have a little more toughness versus UV. It's not as penetrable with UV light. So over time, your fluorocarbon is going to withstand some of the abuse of the outside elements where mono might begin to break down with time. So fluorocarbon is more abrasion resistant and it's a tougher fishing line. Believe it or not, fluorocarbon is more waterproof. It doesn't have as much absorption of water, so it's not as brittle. It's not going to be damaged. It's not going to have some of the effects of line that's going to get heavier, like let's say a braid, or even some of the monos are not as waterproof as a fluorocarbon line. Next, sensitivity. A lot of anglers think that fluorocarbon line stretches just like a mono, or doesn't, I should say, doesn't stretch at all. Or in fact it does, and in some situations it stretches more. It just takes longer to stretch. So that's why they think it's more sensitive, which in turn it is. So on the initial hook setting power or something like that, fluorocarbon is going to be a tougher line and more sensitive, which alludes to the hook setting power. So right when you feel that bite, it doesn't stretch as fast as a monofilament line. And then of course, fluorocarbon sinks. So those guys that are flipping heavy cover, crankbait fishing, Carolina rig fishing, things where you want the line to get down, it's going to sink. It's not going to float like a braid or even a monofilament. So many reasons to fish fluorocarbon. Went over just a handful of them. So if you don't have fluorocarbon rigged on a rod or two or three, I highly suggest giving it a try this summer. Try fluorocarbon on a bait caster or spinning rod in various situations and see if it's the right fit for you.